social media is not really a choice for most people. The internet is not really a choice for most people. It is very difficult to be a functioning member of the workforce or society and refuse to use the internet. I don't know a job that would let you go in and refuse to use Google, for example. I don't know, you know, most hiring requires a LinkedIn profile now. So although we use this narrative of choice because someone's pushing a button, even if they had read the terms and conditions and understood it, they substantively don't really have a choice, because in the modern workforce, you have to use social media and you have to use the internet.
They don't really have other options. So.
I don't know a job that would hire somebody who refuses to use the internet.
So do you think it's too much to expect that these social media platforms get consumers informed consent? I mean, there is this idea in the law, for example, if you're going to consent to a surgical procedure by your doctor, that your consent must be informed. In other words, you have to understand what you're agreeing to. Do you think that's too much to ask for in this context?
It's not that it's too much. It's not too much to ask for. People absolutely should have informed consent, but the analogy is not equivalent. When you go and see a doctor and you need a surgery, you need something, and that you consenting to that surgery is proportionate to the benefit that you're getting. When somebody consents, quote unquote, to something online, even if they understand that they're consenting to their data being harvested, if that's the only way that you can get a job, it's not really genuinely a fair situation. And so the point that I would make to you is that we should take a step back from this narrative of consent and start to look at the fact that people don't have a choice. They have to use a lot of these platforms to be functional in society and the workforce.
Well, I don't have to use Facebook. I can use Twitter. I can use.
But all of these platforms do the same thing. Right? They all, as soon as you sign up to Twitter, as soon as you sign up to Google, as soon as you sign up to anything, they all will be collecting a hugely disproportionate amount of data compared to the utility that they provide to you. And further, the other thing that I would say is that when you're looking at technology, you know, there's a question of not just informed consent in the present, but reasonable expectations in the future. When I first signed up to Facebook, it didn't have facial recognition. I posted all of my photos, and then Facebook developed facial recognition algorithms that then can go and search the internet and find other things that I'm doing, right? So it's not a question of just informed consent. It's about, is it proportionate to the benefit that the consumer is getting? Is it reasonably expected in the future, if there's future developments in that technology, that the consumer did actually consent to that at the time? And more broadly, this narrative of consent is slightly problematic in the sense that when people have to use these platforms, it doesn't matter whether or not they understand. If they have to use it to get a job, they will still use it. And so we are sort of coercing and compelling people to hand over a lot of information, which not only now could be dangerous, but you have to imagine in the future also what the developments of technology, what developments we'll see moving forward, and what kinds of risks we'll be exposing to people 10 years from now when that data about them still exists.